One of the classes I took was a philosophy class.
I can just see how this all goes south, philosophy.
Oh, dude. This class was so cool because the entire semester was themed off of The Matrix. But
I'm sure there are lots of parallels that you started to notice.
The Matrix was based on actually a really old story, Plato's allegory of the cave. There are these people inside of a cave, and they've been there their entire life. All of a sudden, on this wall in front of them, these shadows appear, and they make meaning as to what these shadows are, and it's everything that they just love it. Like when they see the shadows on their wall, they're like, this is heaven. Like they discuss it, they argue, like the shadows are their reality. One day, one of the people in Plato's story breaks loose from the chains, and he noticed that there's a back wall, and so he walks to the back of the cave and looks behind the wall, and he sees that the shadows are being created by someone holding up some shape in front of a flame. Everything in this person's life comes into question because the shadows that he thought were real are just a projection of something else. And then he sees a crack in the wall and climbs out and goes out of the cave. So let's say he saw a shadow of a tree, then he goes out and he sees a real tree. His mind is blown. Literally his entire identity and everything just became shattered because everything he thought he knew was not true. And it scared him. And after it scared him, he then was like, this is awesome. There's so much more to life. But I still have friends and family down there. They need to know about this. So he goes back to the cave. He can't see very well. He stumbles. And so people are like, hey, like, where have you been? And he's like, oh, let me tell you, like, there's this whole outside world that's crazy. And of course, they have no frame of reference. So what do they think? He's gone crazy. But what could be better than the shadows that we have? They ask him. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? What I've seen, these shadows are nothing compared to what's real and what's out there. Now, they feel threatened. Well, what are you saying? Are you trying to take away our shadows? And so because they feel threatened, they kill him. After my professor tells us that story, I thought of everything I knew to be true. Holy shit. There wasn't a single thing, not a single thing that was like a core thing that I had internally discovered. It was from my dad, or the other priesthood leaders, the church. It was the first thing that was like what I call the crack, the thing that was so incredibly unsettling. I couldn't say for certain why what I believed was actually worth believing in.
Hit that subscribe button for me.